Does it hurt?
Oh, this? Only when I worry.
How would a trace get to Asgard?
I'm sorry, but you'd have to ask Odin. He's got control of every path. I know how highly you esteem our expertise on such things, so I'm sure that's disappointing. He's just been one step ahead of us.
Hang on! I got something for you. Sindri!
Coming!
Before you go traipsing off into the dawn, I thought you'd like to have this back. Well, don't go getting too cheery about it. But you're welcome.
I've collected what we need to find the Norns. Shall we go? Neathhope. I suspect we may have consequences to look forward to.
Squirrel.
Ah, Master Kratos, my apologies. Madame Neathoge's disappearance weighs heavily on my mind.
She a friend of yours?
Less a friend than another longtime tenant of the tree. She was here even before I arrived, and that was ages ago. To even think something could keep her away from her babies. Terrible, just terrible.
We are certain the trace could not still be in Midgard.
I was just there and found no trace. If Odin invited him, he must have provided a way.
No, that is not the only explanation. Tell me where we find these Norns.
I discovered some of their threads near the frozen lake. I stashed one for spellcrafting, but we may also use it to find them. Just remember, they really don't want to be found.
Well, at least things will be difficult for a change.
We should take your sled and head to the lake.
Midgard. How I've missed the freezing gusts and constant raider attacks.
Well, that's because they believe Kratos is responsible for Fimbulwinter, and that killing him will end it.
Where would they get an idea like that?
From me, of course.
Of course.
Come. Quiet. She is a friend. Now.
Better they get this from you. Once the wolves have the scent of the Norns, we'll just need to follow their lead.
I will open the gate. Stop whining.
Their fur is matted. When did you last brush them?
They are wolves.
And matted fur leads to disease. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Brother, what exactly do you intend to ask the Norns?
How I may find my son. Nothing more.
I don't imagine it's a chance to clear up all this mess about prophecy. Perhaps get a second opinion on your alleged demise.
You didn't tell me you had a death prophecy?
When Atreus and I reached Jotunheim, we found a hidden mural. The Giants, they herself, had foreseen our entire journey long ago. Who we would meet, who we would fight. All of it, as it happened.
But you aren't dead.
That image was from a time yet to come.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not the problem, is it?
No. Death can have me when it earns me.
Then maybe it's not the future that bothers you. Faye sent you on your journey, and she made sure you'd see that image at the end of it. And you're still not sure why.
I wish to speak of this no further. Now that we are on the lake, how will we find the Norns?
Watch the wolves closely. See how their heads point the way?
Well, the Lake of Nine has certainly seen better days. Raiders have made themselves quite at home. Not sure I've been back to these parts since our great battle with Seekron.
She speaks highly of that fight as well.
You know of that?
She told me all about it when she found me. She believed you could be an ally. Long before I believed it.
The Valkyrie Queen. An ally.
I'm the Valkyrie Queen, as Seekron was stubbornly determined to remind me.
I should have guessed it was Seekron helping you recover yourself. She's so loyal. Why? Clever. Oh.
Doesn't take a love goddess to see where you're coming from. Isn't that the spear from Tyr's statue?
Wish for peace. Be ready for war.
Oh, that's astute of the elves. Tyr never sought war, but he knew he had to be ready for it.
Aye, best be armed than not. Impressive looking weapon, isn't it?
It is big. This thread of fate we are tracing.
It's not somebody's life, if that's what you mean. The Norns use it to mark their way when they're outside of the well.
The Nords live in a well.
No. The Well of Earth, their home, is hard to explain. It's in no fixed place. Entrances come and go. A place wholly under their influence, where the intangible becomes tangible. Like being inside your own mind.
But if we go in together, are we in each other's minds? Not so sure I like the sound of that.
Mimir, have you encountered these Norns?
Not personally. Freya's right. They have ways of discouraging visitation. Odin made his share of efforts. Wouldn't talk about what he found. I gave up, or he wanted to forget what he saw.
I scouted ahead. The lake's crawling with raiders. Be careful.
Appreciate it.
Freya, you mind telling us what you experienced when you sought the Norns last time?
To be honest, the details are hazy. Like waking up from a dream. Mainly, I remember that nothing could be done to change my son's fate. Which only made me more determined to try.
Brother, what of your story? You faced the fates of your homeland, yeah? The legends I heard about the ghosts of Sparta were surely exaggerated.
Exaggerate.
Oh, not in the brazen bloodshed righteous fury part. The part where it said you travelled back in time itself to win a battle once lost. It's strange credulity, obviously. I mean, a rumour about Thor knocking the world serpent back in history from Ragnarok is one thing.
It is the truth. The threads of fate span all life and time. The Sisters of Fate abused their power. When I challenged them, they threatened to undo my existence. So I killed them and turned their power on Zeus.
That's the most dangerous and irresponsible thing I've ever heard. These Norns have no such magic, nor does anyone in these realms that I've ever seen.
Aye, can you imagine? If it existed, Odin would have it. And if Odin had it, we'd be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience.
Lemire, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it's pickle?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
Brother, what is it?
The wolves are distracted.
Now, if we could get back to the story of Hrimthur, the stonemason's son, I was hoping to get Freya's version of what happened.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen.
Enough. We will continue later.
I just hope the Norns are somewhere indoors and warm. Safe to say, no, I have not missed Midgard and Fimbulwinter. Thank you.
We will see soon enough. Watch the fire!
Right side, brother!
Incoming fire!
Press it!
Behind you! Watch out!
One left.
Yelpa! The way forward is magically sealed. Something in here is giving it power.
The hilt of a sword.
Brother, I know that sword hilt. Tread carefully. You of all people know how weapons can carry ghosts.
If it does not help us find the Norns, it can wait.
Let's keep looking. This way. I feel a trace of their illusions here. I can try to dispel it. Oh, no. There's nothing here.
A false trail.
I'm afraid so. We'll have to see what else the wolves can find.
Typical Nornish mischief.
They know we're searching. I warned you they wouldn't make it easy.
And what's the hilt of a cursed king have to do with any of it?
Distraction? Coincidence? Who knows? I suppose they'd say we were fated to find it.
Freya, can you return to your story of Hrimthur? You said if he built Asgard's wall in time, he was promised an audience with you.
Yes. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the Mason wants. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency.
Hold. We will finish later.
Getting back to your story, Freya. You were forced to grant an audience after the building of Asgard's wall, yeah?
That's right. And this Mason, this giant in disguise,
His name was Hrimthur.
he just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall,
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye. Blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way.
Freya, something your brother said. The Aesir burned him.
yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages. Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
So Freyr was a guest when Odin burned him.
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more about how to improve crop yield.
Wait. That building.
How strange. I've never seen that building before.
Aye, very strange indeed. Let's take a closer look.
What did you mean when you said Frey was not exactly a guest at the Aesir?
I meant hold that thought. I think it's about to get violent. What's your left?
Kratos, we need you! From behind! Incoming! Kratos, we need you! Right side, incoming!
Watch out! I felt that one! Right side!
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
Another raider! To the left! What's your left? Left flank! Right side, cover!
Wait. The shield that's blocking the entrance. It looks exactly like the one from Tyr's statue.
It's another piece of Tyr's likeness sent flying across the lake. Ended up lodged right into this building, apparently. All this must have been hidden behind the ice until that shield smashed through it.
Sigil arrows won't work on this. There's something inside, but we can't reach it with the shield there. Doesn't look like you can brute force it. Could we climb the shield, maybe? Good! That's the way! Alka! Look, over there. Could be useful. Well done. Now we just need to open the gate. Well done.
It was not intentional.
Oh, sure. My arrows can't go through walls, I'm afraid. Together again. You won't believe it. This crest belongs to Fjotrlund.
Fjotrlund, you say? Now that's where Seekrim is from.
The vault is locked, of course.
Then we should find the keys.
That's the spirit, Baba.
Kratos, tell me more of your homeland.
It was violent and cruel.
Sounds no different from these lands.
It was warmer. What did you mean when you said Frey was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned it, he'd been a prisoner for some time. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding. I do understand where his anger came from. Search where you please. Just know this is not where the Norns are. You know, I would have beaten you
What?
earlier, if Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again, find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't. Is that a frozen lightning bolt?
My fight with Thor ended there.
That's where you landed. No wonder there's bits of Tyr's statue all over the lake. Freya, you once revived a giant's corpse to stop a certain fight we won't talk about. Could you call on that power again?
Maybe. Do you have a massive giant's corpse for me to revive?
No?
Well, there you go.